I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce.
Good evening. Happy Thursday morning to you all. I hope everybody had a better day than me. I went 1-7. I completely suck at this. Every comment is completely right. You should fade me until Bolivian at this point, especially this season, until this season ends. But anyway, Spoon, how was your day?
Yeah, I also had a shit day. Got a couple wins with the Cubs first 5 and over in Philadelphia, but just couldn't catch a break for the most part.
TV Jones, I'd ask you, but everybody knows you were doing your Peace Corps duties.
Yeah, I made some bets on the plane back from South Sudan. 1-4-1 today, so that was nice.
Let's get into the board today. The only winner today I had, Phillies and Brewers overs. Now you have Ranger Suarez on the road in Milwaukee. Freddie Peralta on the mound. Take it away, TV Jones.
Yeah, I mean, that day off yesterday was much needed for that bullpen. Granted, Shelby Miller, he tore his UCL or some shit, so he's out for season. Going to be coming back at like 35, 36, whatever it is, whenever he's done with that. So who knows how his career will end. But Uribe went fairly deep tonight, a couple innings, and Ashby also. But shout out Quintana for getting into the 7th. That helped out a lot, so we didn't have to go through our bullpen completely today. But I like the Brewers. I think they're playing better, obviously. But if I am betting something, it's going to be Peralta over 6.5 Ks minus 110. You look at his last couple games. I mean, 8, 6, 6, 7, and 7 strikeouts, and then versus lineup, 129 plate appearances, a 38% strikeout rate. That is filthy. And I think Quintana struck out a fair amount tonight too. I'm not sure exactly how many, but he did have his fair amount of strikeouts. I know he's a lefty, but Peralta's seen these guys a bunch. He's got great numbers. And then the Brewers versus Suarez, only 61 plate appearances, but 18% strikeout, 364 average with a 429 WOBA. So I think they'll be fine. But honestly, I think more or not, this game is going to go under. I think both pitchers do fairly well. Suarez has been pitching pretty well as of late here recently, and Peralta's been damn good all year. So disrespectful that he's not in the Cy Young race. I mean, this man, all he does is go out and get wins for this team. So completely disrespectful in a career year. But this is how I line up for tomorrow. Go Brew Crew.
That tells you how good Freddie Peralta is. Career year, not even sniffing Cy Young votes. Dude's average at best. Spoon, your thoughts?
All over Chris Sanchez's jock.
I'm looking at the Brewers here. I'm looking first 5 in full game. I think I'm probably going to isolate this to the first 5. It looks like Philadelphia gave all the important bullpen arms a day off today. I also think we have the advantage in the first 5 with just the pitching. Ranger Suarez has pitched pretty well in his last few games, but the lineup competition is a little subpar. 7 innings versus Washington is not what you're going to see versus a Milwaukee lineup here tomorrow. So I think Freddie Peralta, who's pitched pretty well against this Philadelphia team in the past, will continue to do so tomorrow.
I'm not betting this game. It would only be over or pass for me. Milwaukee versus left-handed pitching has been an absolute juggernaut, and we all know that Ranger Suarez in the second half is really not the same guy. So congratulations, Ranger. You pitched well against the Braves and Nationals and the Mariners. All those teams are absolutely dog water right now. So that doesn't really give me too much confidence. Decent history against the Brewers, but they have already seen him once this year. And fastball Freddie hasn't given up a run in 4 starts. Yeah, I'm sure that dam's about to break pretty soon. 7.5 is the best number you can get. I don't really love the 8 as much, but if you can get 7.5, I'd play it. I didn't play it though. Next game on the board. Shout out Ohtani for sitting, and I ended up cashing out, so I guess it's not big of a deal. But Dodgers lose again, thank God. Pirates continue to play well at home. You got to give this team some credit. They are absolutely terrible on the road, but at home, they are a completely different animal. Spoon, we'll kick it off with you. Blake Snell's, Paul Skeens, obviously a marquee pitching matchup. What do you think about this one?
Really interesting price, just minus 120 with the Dodgers versus the Pirates. I know it's Paul Skeens, but I think that number is a little short. I think just on price alone, I'm going to have to be on the Dodgers tomorrow. Paul Skeens isn't going to go up there and bat for himself, and even if he goes out and gives 6 to 7 good innings pitched, they could lose this game because Blake Snell, he's been very good on the mound so far this season too. Had a small hiccup there in his last start versus Arizona, gave up 3 earned runs and 5 1/3 innings pitched. I think this is a weaker lineup in Pittsburgh, and he goes back to what we saw in his first few starts and puts a 0 up there on the board. I like Dodgers full game minus 120.
TV Jones.
Yeah, shut up Pirates plus 1.5. 2 games, two days in a row. Free money.
Just leaving money
Absolutely
on the table.
Free
Keep on leaving
money.
that money on the table, TV Jones. You scaredy cat.
With that bullpen, I mean, I'll take a little insurance in the back end there, but
no, I'm sure you should take plus 0.5 here in the first 5, just in case. Just in case it's time. Just in case.
Tomorrow is not that day. We are going full game Pirates. Dodgers, who gives a shit? You know, they're already in the playoffs.
Are they?
I'm pretty positive.
Giants are making
I mean,
noise.
I know they've lost 2. Yeah, the Giants. Okay, you're playing.
I'm just saying, both these teams, Padres and Dodgers can't win a game right now, and the Giants can't lose. So I don't think that anything's in cement right now.
The Dodgers will make the playoffs. I'm pretty. I'll bet whatever you want on that. But they go to Baltimore tomorrow. The Pirates. Their season's been cooked since April. So I mean, what have they really had to look forward to except for playing the Dodgers at home and going for a sweep? And you got your best guy in the bump here. I know Blake Snell's been pretty damn good, but his dominance is really the month of August is where he really shines in his career. September comes back to earth a little bit. He's still really damn good, but you're going to get Paul Skeens on the bump at home. He goes the deepest. These Dodgers bats are putrid, just absolutely putrid right now. Like it's horrible. They're swinging with Swiss cheese bats. They can't make contact. I mean, for Christ's sake, Braxton Ashcraft had bases loaded twice today. They got nothing off of that. And the Pirates at home, don't look now. The Pirates are 41-30 at home, and the Dodgers are 31-35 on the road this year. We get a Pirates team that plays much better at home, has their ace, is actually motivated for this because what have they had to play for all season, which is nothing. Now you can sweep the Dodgers at home. I think we get a max effort from them. I like the Pirates here, full game.
It would only be Pirates or pass for me. I think that laying juice with this Dodgers team is kind of crazy right now. They just really can't get out of their own way. And keep in mind, this isn't the same like Dodgers team that's like, oh my God, this is like the $1 billion boys club, as I like to call them. I mean, if you take out Will Smith, who left today, you have Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, and Teoscar Hernandez. Those are the 4 guys that are Major League Baseball players. Everybody, I mean, I guess Pages is pretty decent, but Kim, Freeland, Conforto, Dalton Rushing, a decent prospect, but still not a really good Major League Baseball player. I mean, half their lineup is AAA guys. I mean, so it's not the same type of Dodgers team that we know and love, especially if Will Smith's not in the lineup. So he's not really known to play back-to-back days and be injured. He's not really one of those tough guys that just goes out there and plays. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see Will Smith sit tomorrow. Maybe he's up for it because obviously they've lost 2 games in a row now, but that doesn't really mean anything to me. I will say, though, that the Pirates, the reason I can't bet the Pirates is because of their bullpen situation. You have Santana on back-to-back days. You have Madison on back-to-back days. You have that's their top 2 arms in their bullpen. The only 2 guys that you can really trust on back-to-back days. So it would only be the Pirates for me, but there's just enough for me not to do it. So anywho, next game on the board. Well, actually, I just wanted to tell you guys really quick because I'm going to be coming over to the East Coast to watch some baseball, and I will be using SeatGeek in this name. I wanted to talk about SeatGeek today because they're obviously a big sponsor of the show. With over $28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app there is. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. The NFL season is right around the corner. Plus, the MLB season is in full swing. I like using SeatGeek. It's really easy to use. use the app when you use it. Obviously, SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is graded on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know if you're getting a good deal or not. So just go look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. It's pretty easy. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And obviously, we have a promo code for you guys. You can use the word promo code Kirms10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets you want with promo code Kirms10. I'm sure there's a link in the description below. So yeah, that was a good one from SeatGeek. I like that. I've used them actually a lot, to be honest with you guys, before they even sponsored this show. I really like them. Cleveland on the road in Tampa Bay. Another one of my straight leans that I just couldn't get there. Cleveland, easy winner in Boston today. That was kind of embarrassing by the Red Sox. TV Jones, what are your thoughts here? Do you trust Pepe Le Pew at -150 in this red hot Rays team? Muted.
Indubitably, I pulled a spoon. Cleveland showed up one time. They scored 7. I mean, they scored twice in 2 days in a row.
They showed up the other night too.
Yeah, but so did their bullpen, given 13 runs up. And there was no Roman Anthony today, but Pepio goes to tomorrow. I think he's fine. Logan Allen, he struggles. Where are we at here? Nope, I had the wrong tab. Just kidding. But regardless, I don't want to trust Cleveland on the road again. Back-to-back road games. Now you're going from Boston down to Tampa. Tampa's been red hot, and they're not traveling. They're staying home. I don't want to pay -150 though. If anything, just like a team total over or something. I'm not in the market or business of spending $1.50 to bet Tampa, no matter how good they've been playing. I mean, Cleveland's offense has been fine too, so maybe you want an over, but I trust more Tampa's bats to score runs off of Logan Allen and company than I do Cleveland's offense continuing to travel and then beat up on another team, but their bats are also hot. So I guess over, but I really like Tampa's team total here tomorrow at home.
Trevor, remember back in July when you told me the Rays were a playoff team and I laughed in your face on the stream?
I didn't actually. I was being facetious.
Oh,
I said if the playoffs started in July.
Would they give you a dictionary in the P score too? Jesus Christ! Congratulations, Trevor. You used that one right.
He's being facetious. Oh, okay. Oh.
I can't even take it seriously now.
Hey, English was like one of my good subjects, not sports, in high school. I got a fairly decent grade there.
You're great at music. That's interesting.
Okay. Can you spell facetious or no?
Fascheux.
You're already wrong. It's facetious, but it's all right. Spoon, I'm sorry, I had to. Spoon, your thoughts on this one? I honestly think, Spoon, that this price is absolutely ridiculous. I think that we're getting the Rays because they've been playing well, and you have against a really, really bad, or at least right now, really bad Mariners team, and you have Pepe Le Pew coming off 2 fantastic starts against dog water offenses. Like, make it make sense.
I wish Cleveland wasn't playing so well because we'd get an even better price, but I think Logan Allen can go in there and pitch decent tomorrow. I'm not trying to lay -150 with the Rays at home right now, especially not with Pepe Le Pew on the mound. Two straight 0-run starts versus Washington and St. Louis, kind of bottom of the barrel offenses. They saw San Francisco, the Athletics, right before that. He gave up 4 earned runs to both of those teams. The Yankees just tagged him for 7. This Guardians offense seemed to be swinging the bat pretty well, and versus right-handers recently, every single time they see somebody, they're giving up or putting up 2 or 3 runs. So I think they can get some runs off Ryan Pepio. It really just comes down to Logan Allen and how well he can pitch, but I think he matches up all right with this Rays lineup.
Yeah, I really like Cleveland tomorrow. I guess I just don't really understand the price, to be honest. I mean, I know I just kind of mentioned it, but
so you have travel baked into it too.
Travel what? It's a 2.5-hour flight from Boston. Who cares? They've never been on a plane before. It's not even. They're not even changing time zones.
It's a grueling flight.
Must be. There must be turbulence coming because that must be a crazy I mean, means nothing to me personally. I'm sorry, but I don't understand. Again, the Rays aren't playing like amazing baseball against these really good teams. They're beating up on the bottom dwellers, and not that Cleveland's some great team, but my point to that is that just because the Rays are 8-2 their last 10, but they've played a Seattle team that cannot win baseball games. They played Washington, St. Louis, and this Cleveland team. They killed Cleveland. Cleveland killed them once. They won one game in extra innings, and then they lost 0-3 or something like that, or whatever. So it was kind of a split, kind of a weird series 2 weeks ago or whatever it was when they played Cleveland. But again, I don't feel like the Rays should be this big of favorites. The Cleveland bats are actually kind of impressive right now. I mean, I just talk shit a lot about the Seattle game, or Seattle as a team. But I mean, Cleveland's been seeing guys like Brian Bayo, Bryce Miller, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Drew Rasmussen, Shane Baz, Merrill Kelly, Jack Leiter, Nathan Eovaldi, Brandon Pfaadt. He's terrible. But regardless, he was the last name on the list. All those guys are going 6-7 innings, but they're getting runs off of them. I don't feel like this Rays offense is going to continue to produce the way that they did against Seattle. I think they just beat up a really bad team. So it would only be Cleveland or pass for me.
Rays win 6-2.
I won't be watching that one. TV Jones, just calm down over there. White Sox
6-2 works for me.
White Sox on the road in Minnesota. Jonathan Cannon, Taj Bradley. How do you still have a job in this league? I don't know. But Spoon, you can take us away here. I think it's the same thing as we've said the last couple nights. Why is Minnesota this big a favorite versus anybody? Go ahead.
Especially with Taj Bradley going out there on the mound. He pitched decent versus San Diego last time out, just 1 earned run. But before that, I mean, this guy got sent down to the AAA by the White Sox, gave up 4 earned runs, didn't even make it out of the second inning, comes back up, first start versus the White Sox. They get 7 earned runs off him. I think the White Sox just have this guy's number. I don't think he really wants to go out there and pitch versus them tomorrow. I was kind of going back and forth between the first 5 White Sox and just isolate it to the Cannon innings, or bring in the bullpens, where I don't think the White Sox are necessarily at a disadvantage, even though they are to most teams.
TV Jones?
Yeah, White Sox money line, White Sox team total over. However you want to slice it. I mean, you go last 30 plate appearances versus lefties here. Taj Bradley worse on the board tomorrow. 8.10 expected ERA, 6.14 expected FIP, 10% strikeout, 13% walk rate, a 15% whiff. He's getting ahead at 70%, but I mean, he's giving up a 9% barrel, 3.18 home runs per 9. His fly balls at near 40%, a 7.09 expected slug. And he's going to be going against 6 or 7 potential lefties here tomorrow in the White Sox, and they're just playing better. I mean, the Twins can't win if they tried right now. Their bullpen just gives it up. Not sure. I'm with you. I'm not sure why they've been such egregious favorites this entire series, but it makes no sense. Give me the White Sox and the team total over.
Yeah, White Sox. I really want to play them both. I mean, you can get the White Sox in the first 5 at plus 115. You can get the White Sox money line, obviously, at plus 135 on ESPN Bet. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Neither one of these teams are great, let alone being a minus 150 favorite. Like, it just doesn't make any sense for me. So I see a lot of people liking the White Sox first 5. I don't hate that either, but just please don't take the half a run. Don't take all the value away from it, especially in a game that's at 8.5, going to go to 9. Just take the plus money and live with it. I promise you're going to be all right. But anyway, it would only be the White Sox for me. Only the White Sox. It does kind of scare me, though, that they just keep on putting the Twins. I didn't bet it, but it kind of scares me. That they
stupid.
I know, but like, what are they?
They're worried about football.
Maybe. I doubt it. Next game on the road, another heartbreaker for me today. Yankees lose in, what was it, the 8th, I guess? But anyway, did you guys see Stanton getting that ball with Alvarez and how bad that was? Oh, my goodness gracious.
I know it was a troll account. It's like some Yankees troll account or Red Sox troll, but he was like, this catch at 115% catch probability.
That's Cutter. He's the man.
He's so funny.
He's the man. Anyway, Rodon on the mound versus Christian Javier. My gut says to go right back to the Yankees at a cheap price. I think they have a huge starting pitching advantage, but what do I know? Spoon, what are your thoughts?
I agree with your gut here. Carlos Rodon, at this point in this season has a ton more innings pitched, a ton more good games pitched than what Christian Javier has. This guy's only 4 starts into his major league season right now. Hasn't looked exceptionally sharp in any of them. Kind of faced some subpar lineups in Boston, Baltimore, and LA. Just pitched really well to the LA Angels. Went 6 innings pitched, 0 earned. It's a really righty-heavy lineup. He traditionally struggles a lot more with lefties than he does righties, and I think that's a bad recipe to have when you face these Yankees bats. Aaron Judge, Stanton, they hit from the right-hand side, but all the other bats that you want to be on base when they come up to hit from the left-hand side. So if they get on base, I have faith that some of those Yankees are going to get in. I was looking at the team total over 4.5 as well, just to take the bullpens out of it. But I think I like the Yankees money line. I'll find myself on this game one way or another.
TV Jones?
I don't know. I kind of just want to bet an over. I think Rodon can get hit. I think what's his nuts Javier can too. I mean, dude's is going to have 6 lefties in the lineup tomorrow. Last 30 plate appearances, he's got a 43% first pitch, a 45% hard hit. Yes, his ground ball's high, but still a 424 expected slug, a 522 xFIP, 392 expected ERA, 17% walk. I mean, like, he's been struggling. The Astros bats kind of came alive tonight, and Rodon, Spoon already said he's pitched a ton of innings this year. Now you're coming back out there. The Yankees bullpen, not a big fan whatsoever. I think we just see some runs here. I mean, especially you get an 8.5 in a Carlos Rodon start. I think it's just more runs again today. I don't think they put up 14, 15 runs, but like they did. But I think we can easily get to 9 runs in this game, given the bullpens and whatnot too, and how the offenses have been hitting. So give me the over 8.5 in this one.
Yeah, I will say I 100% agree with you when you said that this total being 8.5 with Rodon on the mound is kind of fishy, just because he's been like very, very good. I don't think that people realize how good he's been over the course of the full year because of all the other BS that the Yankees have had to deal with. But he has been like really good and really consistent for them. I mean, when you're looking at, he's 15-7 with 164 innings pitched and almost a 3 ERA. I mean, that is very, very good. So he has decent history against Houston. I mean, he saw him twice last year. Not that really does much, but a lot of these guys in the lineup, Altuve, Alvarez, Correa, Christian Walker, all these guys have 15 plus plate appearances against him. Nothing like crazy good either. So that does give me confidence. I mean, yes, the Astros are loaded up with righties. Obviously, Rodon being a lefty is going to struggle a little bit more with righty bats, but the splits are between lefties and righty for him aren't that drastic. I mean, again, yes, he does struggle with righty bats, but at the same time, I mean, this Astros team isn't hitting left-handed pitching in any way, shape, or form. We just watched Max Fried and cashed with the Yankees yesterday, going 7 innings and 1-run baseball. They got to Kikuchi and Kyle Freeland, but Tyler Anderson pitches well against him, and as we've said this 1,000 times on this show, Tyler Anderson rolls out of bed and gives up 4 runs, quote TV Jones. And he blanked him. Trevor Rogers blanked him. That makes sense. But I just don't feel like the Astros versus left-handed pitching is anything to ride home against. Getting Yordan back is great. Yes, that's awesome. But again, the Yankees used a lot of people in their both these guys used their bullpens today. It would only be the Yankees for me. I don't know if I end up paying that price again, but I do think they have a pretty big advantage in multiple ways today. And is Abreu even right for Houston? They don't have Hader, and now he's blown in 2 of his last 4 games or something like that. So I don't really know if you can really trust the Astros bullpen without a little bit of worry, I guess, in my head. Next game on the board, Angels on the road in Kansas City. Another just probably a stupid bet by me just to lay 155 with the freaking Royals. Probably just a stupid bet. But anyway, Berger pitched well, but they lost, so it doesn't matter. Now it's Kyle Hendricks against Noah Cameron. Spoon, you can kick us off because I know that Kyle Hendricks is your boy. You probably have a jersey on underneath that shirt of yours.
Professor.
I don't today, but I think he can pitch pretty well tomorrow. Just looking at what this Royals team has done to right-handers, it's not a lot recently. The last time they got more than 3 earned runs was off Chris Paddock. Not the most quality of starters. They got 5 off Aaron Savali, but everybody else is blanking them unless they're running into really bad pitchers. I think Kyle Hendricks can come out here, kind of take advantage of this ballpark. He's used to pitching in places with big outfields, kind of a fly ball guy. And I think Seth Lugo can take care of this Angels lineup for at least the first few innings. I was looking at first 5 under maybe as well. It's tough with these two lineups because every once in a while they come alive, but right-handed starting pitchers recently, I mean, they haven't gotten more than 2 earned runs off anybody. And while Lugo's had a couple of blowups versus Detroit and Washington along the way, I think this is a spot where he can come out and pitch pretty well. First 5 under.
Fair enough. I agree. It's a 9 is wild in this game. TV Jones?
Yeah, give me Mr. Noah Cameron under 15 and a half outs. You look at what he's done lately. He's gone 5, 4 2/3, 5 1/3, 5 2/3, 6 1/3, 5 as of late. And 3 of those starts were on the road. And he went 5, 5 2/3, 6 1/3. So if you want to go back to his last home starts, he's had 5, 5 1/3, 4 2/3. He's also given up 3 home runs, 4 home runs his last 3 starts, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts, accompanied with 17 hits and 9 earned runs in those games, and he hasn't gone past 5 1/3. And then if you look at what the Angels have done versus lefties, I mean, their last 11 games, starters gone over 5 innings twice. That was Patrick Corbin went 8 innings of 3-hit baseball a couple days ago, and then Eric Lauer went 6 innings of 3-hit. Other than that, 4 1/3, 4 2/3, 4 2/3, 5, 5, 4 1/3, 4 2/3, 5, 5. Like they're getting lefties out. They're making them work. I mean, they've had 2 to 4 walks in all of those but 1, and then they've been getting a lot of hits. 5 of the last 9, they've had 6+ hits off of these guys. And Cameron's workload is, his innings pitch has started to go down the last month or so. So. Great weather, wind blowing out. It's going to be 77, wind blown out, 8 miles an hour. Angels have been making lefties work. And Cameron's workload's been going down. I like the under 15 and a half outs for Mr. Noah Cameron.
Wow, Noah Cameron under outs. That's really intriguing. Awesome bet.
Yeah, I got all flazzed. I was going to tail it, but then I just forgot. It would only be under 9.5 for me. It's -130 on ESPN. It's 9s everywhere else. Very simple. I just don't trust either one of these teams to put up numbers, especially the Royals. So I just don't understand how you get to 9 runs in this game. Even if you think that Kyle Hendricks is terrible and he's, after coming off of a good start, he's going to get throttled. What have the Royals done versus any right-handed pitching that makes you impressed? I mean, Flaherty, Paddock, Shane Smith, Paddock again, Troy Melton twice. Casey Mize actually got through almost 6 innings against them. I mean, it's just been really, really bleak for Kansas City, especially over the last couple of weeks. So not to mention the fact that I don't really think you can trust Kansas City's bullpen. So again, I don't think these offenses are good enough to get it up and over 9 personally, but at the same time, I don't really want to deal with these bullpens either. So it would be under 9 or pass for me. NFL, take it away.
Yeah, make sure you give these guys a follow. Trevor claims he's doing college basketball previews. I'm yet to see one, so I'm not sure.
I was in there today, Trevor. Do you see me?
Oh, you did one today?
Yeah, it was kind of just all around, bouncing around, starting soon. I want to. We're figuring
every single time you do a video, you describe it as all around bouncing around.
Well, it was just him and Tuffer kind of going back and forth with each other. So it was a classic pump fake pod.
I'll give you a definitive answer when we're going to, so you can do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, I'll let people know. All right, let's talk NFL later, guys.
See you guys.
All right, it is Wednesday. Normally, Sean Green will be here on Thursdays, but for this week only, we're doing Wednesdays. But starting next week, Sean will be here. We'll be going live at midnight, kind of post Thursday Night Football. Should be a fun one. But yeah, if you don't know who Sean Green is, from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and I've said this before on this channel, I don't think I've ever said it to you. Everybody I meet from your community is rock solid. it's almost gotten to the point where if I meet somebody that's like associated with you guys, I just blind vouch for them because you guys got a great judge of character out there. Like good people come from your community.
Well, appreciate that, Kyle. And yeah, thanks for having me on. Appreciate, just the opportunity to chop it up. Looking forward to the season. And yeah, basically most Thursday nights, I'll be fine. I'll be in the studio, but Eagles Cowboys is tomorrow night. I'm going to be in Vegas watching the game. I will most likely have a bunch of cocktails, either celebrating or on the off chance the Cowboys pull the upset, drowning in my misery there. So this is probably the better time to knock out the some football talk.
Yeah, I mean, Super Bowl hangover could be on the horizon. We'll see. We got 4 games queued up, and it's going to be fun because we're disagreeing on the first game. I saw your email. I was like, oh, great, we're disagreeing on the first game.
Go.
I'm on the Colts, so go ahead. I saw you're on the Dolphins.
Yes.
Take it away.
I'm on the Dolphins, and for me, it starts and ends with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback. 3-13 straight up as a starter. I get the concern of maybe Jonathan Taylor. Oh, okay, hey, they're going to be able to run the ball. But Daniel Jones had a pretty good running back by the name of Saquon Barkley when he was with the Giants. And you just go back and look at this Colts team. The last time they won won their first game, won their opener. Now, there was a tie in there, but you got to go back to 2013. And I get the concern with the Dolphins. Things have been odd, to say the least, coming out of there. But right now, it does look like Achan is good. Tyreek Hill is good to go. Now, Tyreek Hill, I wouldn't say Tyreek Hill is good to go mentally. Who knows what's going to happen there? I'm not super high on the Dolphins for the entire season. This team has a ton of variance as far as where their season could end up. But right now, somewhat healthy. They are a very fast team. They're playing in a dome against this Colts team. And again, I watched that quarterback battle between Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. That was not pretty. And the fact that Daniel Jones won, very, very skeptical. So yes, I'm all in on this Dolphins team for this game. And especially, as a small dog here pick, I like the Dolphins. Tell me why I'm wrong, Kyle. Why are you on the Colts here?
Well, you're forgetting about the X factor, and his name is Lou Anarumo. Colts hit a home run here, and I've been a Lou Anarumo apologist for like 4 years now. This guy, I mean, you got to keep in mind, he was the defensive coordinator for the Bengals for 5 or 6 years. They didn't give him shit to work with out there. Go ahead, Lou. Coach us a defense. We'll spend $500 million on a quarterback and 2 receivers. But yeah, go figure it out on the other side. And then after the game, we'll blame it all on you. Insane. The Bengals firing Lou Anarumo is an act of terrorism. This guy, I truly think he's one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. Didn't have shit to work with for years. And despite all that, has some of the best performances as a defensive coordinator we've seen. This dude in a playoff game went to Tennessee and shut down prime Derrick Henry, held him to 59 yards. They beat the Titans like 19-16. This dude has outcoached Andy Reid in huge games. This dude went into Buffalo in a playoff game and shut Josh Allen down. Like, Lou Anarumo is my personal hero as a defensive coordinator, and I think he's just so underappreciated based on the fact that he's been working with the Bengals defense for so long. If I knew we were going to get both teams' best fastball in this game, yeah, the Dolphins are more talented and probably the better team, but the wide range of production we could see from Miami, I have questions, man. I think the offensive line got worse. When Tua's healthy, the offense is usually good, yes, but I think the offensive line got worse. Tyreek Hill, like you mentioned, going through all kinds of shit. I think if you play this game 100 times, the Colts win 55 of them. So I'm on Indianapolis, and look, Daniel Jones, okay, but I think we're going to see a really
it's Daniel Jones. That's to me, and I see you're making some good points there, Kyle. Clearly, you know ball. The Lou Anarumo defense, you don't hear that a lot because, well, normally the only thing you hear about is Bengals fans complaining Lou Anarumo sucks. But to your point, they haven't given him a ton of talent. I don't know if there's a ton of talent on this Colts defense currently, probably more than the Bengals. But, at least the Bengals had a elite pass rusher there in Trey Hendrickson. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if they sit back and cover 2. And if you're looking for some like fantasy prop stuff, Achan in the passing game, I think could have a lot of dink and dunk stuff there. in kind of the middle of the defense. So I hear your side of it, but man, Daniel Jones is the deal breaker for me.
Daniel Jones, I'm expecting a very conservative game plan here. And the Dolphins defense is brand new, by the way. It's loaded now with Jack Jones and Minka Fitzpatrick and Aston Davis. It's loaded now, but it's all new. Even Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb didn't even play with the team last year. So of the 11 starters on the Dolphins defense, like 6 of them were not playing with them last year. Give me the Colts money line. Disagreeing on the first pick. You'll love to see it. Giants, Commanders. Unfortunately, I think I have to agree. I don't want to do it. I'm almost embarrassed to put the graphic up. I think I have to agree with you.
Yeah, no, give me the Giants +6. It is rare that I am talking optimistically about this Giants team, but let's just look at this Washington Commander team in general. I think they way overexceeded expectations. Now it's kind of a fine line for me because do I think Jaden Daniels is good? Am I scared that he's going to be in the Eagles division? Probably for a long time, barring some crazy injury. Yeah, certainly. But look at everything around him. Very old roster, one of the oldest rosters in the NFL. Everything broke right from 1-score games to the Hail Mary. Like everything kind of broke right for this Commanders team. Now let's look at also the schedule. I know it's crazy to say there's a look ahead spot in week 1, but they do have a Thursday night game against the Packers and Minka Fitzpatrick right there. And then let's go back to the Giants. The Giants, as much as they've been super shitty, I don't know how else to put it, the past few years, the one team they've showed up against is this Commanders team. Even last year, like, they didn't sign a backup kicker when they clearly had an injured kicker. I think Washington won a game without scoring a touchdown against them. It was like 21-18, very ugly win. And then this Giants defensive line, you're on the East Coast there. I'm sure you saw a ton of Abdul Carter over at Penn State. And now you add him to one of the few strengths of the Giants is that defensive line going up against a Washington Commanders offensive line that certainly has some questions. So I think they're going to be able to get a ton of pressure on this Commanders team. I think Russell Wilson is an upgrade over what they saw at the quarterback position last year, even though obviously I don't think he has a ton left. The Steelers moving on from him. So I think there's a little bit of stability at the quarterback position. You have a team that actually has some positive vibes going into the season versus a team that exceeded all expectations, the all-hype team all offseason, and you have that really good defensive line. And when in doubt, take, division dogs for the most part, unless it's Eagles Cowboys, but for the most part, week 1 division dogs will treat you pretty well. So that's my case for the Giants here.
Unfortunately, I agree. And this was one where I didn't look at the NFL until like a week ago. We were doing other sports. And this is one when I first looked at the schedule, I was like, oh, I'm going to be on Washington. And through looking, I don't know how you could lay 6. It actually got to the point where it's like, I kind of have to bet the Giants. I mean, like you said, they played Washington tough last year twice. The one game, the 21-18, I was on Giants money line. And not only did they win the game without, or whatever it was, without scoring a touchdown, or I forget, it was 7 field goals. The only reason they won is because the Giants played the game without a kicker.
Yeah, it's insane.
It was nuts. I was livid. That the Giants should have won that game. And I think the what jumps out of here out for this one is I'm looking at Washington's defensive numbers from last year, and they were terrible against the run, a bottom 5 run defense. So I'm looking, okay, what they do here with the roster, they didn't do anything to address it. They're pretty much bringing back the same, is Javon Kinlaw going to solve their problems in terms of being a bad run defense? They're bringing back the same exact defensive front. I mean, they brought in Von Miller, and he's not a huge run-stopping piece. Bobby Wagner's another year older. He's now 35 years old. He was by far the most important piece against the run last year. And this is a bottom 5 run defense, and I'm looking, what did they do to fix that? And the answer is nothing. And we can sit here and make jokes about how bad the Giants are. I personally enjoy that type of thing. But last year, the 2 times they played the Commanders, they averaged 6 yards per play, success rate over 52%. So if you had just isolate 2 spots where the Giants offense was moving the football, it's the 2 times they saw Washington. Yeah, I don't know how you lay 6. I got to do. I don't have this bet as of right now, but I think there's a good chance I'm going to. I also think the Giants are going to put up points. I wouldn't be mad at an over.
Yeah, and the one injury I would keep an eye on is the Giants left tackle Andrew Thomas. It sounds like it's trending in the right direction. He's coming back from an injury. They're optimistic, but again, this is we're taping this on Wednesday, so that's certainly something to keep an eye out there. But I think they're going to be able to get and Tyrone Tracy. I think they drafted Cam Scadaboo, who was injured for most of camp there, the rookie out of Arizona State, who's an interesting play. But I think Tyrone Tracy could have a pretty big game. And obviously Malik Neighbors has feasted in those couple games, especially fantasy props wise as well. So I just think this is going to be a competitive game. It opened up as high as 7. I'm sure the Sharps are the ones pounding the Giants at this big number. I still like it, though, at 6. I think it's a good buy.
Yeah, FanDuel's down to 5.5, it looks like, at the time of recording. Yeah. Money coming in on the Giants.
Let's go, Giants.
What is going on?
Question mark?
Titans, Broncos. You laid it here, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is it's super chalky. I'm sure the public's going to be all over the Denver Broncos, but to me, it's for a good reason. I think this Broncos team, I have them as you want a future bet. I think the Broncos have a legit chance to win the AFC. Love what I saw out of Bo Nix. One of my bigger future hits last year was Broncos to make the playoffs. I think Sean Payton is a much better coach than Callahan. I know the Titans did a little bit to upgrade their offensive line. I'm still pretty skeptical. You look at historically the Denver Broncos, those first couple of weeks at elevation, it does make things a little bit tougher. Now, going back to, taking the bigger dogs NFL week 1, that makes sense. But a rookie quarterback on the road against this defense, and I think the defense got a lot better. They have a very good defensive line. You had Ufunga in there. Greenwall's a little banged up, but if he sees the field, look out. You got Patrick Surtain locking down Calvin Ridley. I really struggle to see how a rookie is going to come into Mile High and carve up this Denver defense. And on the other side, I think Bo Nix in this offense, I think you're going to see Evan Ingram taking some vertical routes down the field. Sean Payton's been kind of alluding to that. RJ Harvey, I would not be surprised if he has a big game. Cortland Sutton, I don't think anyone on that Titans team can guard Cortland Sutton. They get Bo Nix out in space with some boot action, and I just think it's a pretty big mismatch on both sides of the field. If you want to say, hey, I'm taking them because, it's a big dog, but this is a fun little nugget. There have been 28 number 1 pick quarterbacks since the merger in 1970. In their first start, they're 5-22-1 straight up, 8-20 ATS. Of course, Caleb Williams was one of the winners last year. And of course, I was on the Titans, and my God, what the Titans had to do to screw up that. Now, I know they have a new special teams coordinator, but man, they look horrible in the special teams game. So ultimately, the Titans, I think, it's still Cam Ward. It's interesting because I like Cam Ward. Liked him at the FCS level, was a fan of his game basically all the way up through his college career. I just don't think they're a well-coached team, and I think the roster, especially the defense, is pretty thin. So it's chalky, but I think Denver's going to smash here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree. Well, I agree with the first half. Is there a tougher draw, a rookie quarterback making their first start? Can you think of a tougher draw than Denver right now on the road in Denver? I think that's the toughest, right?
Yeah, I mean, Denver is one of the better defenses, and then you throw in the elevation and hostile road environment. It's tough to think. Obviously, the Eagles have pretty good defense. There are some other good defenses with a good home field, but you toss in the elevation on top of it. It's just, I think, insurmountable for a rookie quarterback, especially making his first start.
Yeah. In top of being a top 3 defense, I think they're in the best shape in terms of who's back and who they added. And I don't know if this is necessarily a huge factor, but the overall temperature, Broncos fans are fired up for this year. Where Eagles fans are kind of hungover. That place is probably going to be going nuts.
Oh man, yes. And just stepping in there, just the Broncos offensive line. You want to talk about why the Eagles won the Super Bowl? They had a dominant offensive line. They're running back a pretty good offensive line again this year. I don't know who you trust offensive line rankings wise, but most everyone has them top 5, even top 3, a lot of places. So if you can establish your will on an opponent at elevation early in the season, it's just, you're skating uphill. I mean, look Look at even like Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, some of the rookie quarterbacks last year. Look at what they did on their first game. They were both on the road. They both struggled. They were afraid to really open the playbook. You're just kind of you're in over your head when you're making your first NFL start.
Yeah, this is as tough as it gets for Cam Ward. I will say I'm a little bigger on the Titans defense than you seem to be. I think last year can just be erased from the history books. There was week 10, 11, somewhere in there. There was a point where the Titans had an entire starting defense on the IR, the entire defense. And I think if you take last year out and look at the Titans defense as a whole, they pretty consistently give us a good defense. And if Simmons and Sweat and Joseph Day are all healthy up front, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a top 5, I'd be top 10, maybe even top 5 run defense this year. And we didn't really get to see it because he was out for most of the year, but L'Jarius Sneed is there. We'll know, who knows what we'll get. But I think the Titans defense could be pretty good. And I also think Bo Nix and the Denver offense may be a little bit of a sell high. When you have that elite defense that keeps putting you in the correct position, it's easier to look a little bit better. So I don't know if I'm completely sold on the Denver offense, but yeah, it would only be Denver minus the points, or maybe an under, because I could see that being the element of this that screws things up is Bo Nix looks terrible and can't move the ball. I can't see Cam Ward lighting things up here in Denver, though.
No, that I just struggle to figure out the formula of how he goes into the. If he carves them up, then my God, the only reason the Titans have a shot is because everyone's going to put the Broncos in their Week 1 survivor, and so that to me is okay. That's certainly scary, and I'm sure the public is going to be all over the Broncos with me. Those are the things that I'm most scared about as a guy back in the Broncos.
Yeah, I haven't heard one person on the Titans yet.
No. See, that's what scares me a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a brave soul out there. Vikings, Bears in Chicago. Didn't get to this one. I have 2 games left, and this is one of them, so I'm all ears. I love your pick, man. I don't even know why you took it, but I like it. He's got Bears plus 1.5 in this email.
So let's go. Let's make a case for the Chicago Bears. We'll start at going back to, again, rookie quarterbacks going on the road. But let's also start Week 1 divisional home dogs. Not even division dogs, divisional home dogs. Underdogs 23-7 ATS since 2010. Then you look at, they brought in Ben Johnson, who had a ton of success against Brian Flores' defense both times. Certainly different personnel, certainly different role here as the head coach. But I've been doing battle with Vikings fans all season long, or all off season, because I go, hey guys, pump the brakes. JJ McCarthy, while I think he's going to be a good prospect, he is still a rookie quarterback coming off 2 knee surgeries. And now you have him on the road. I just think this is crazy. Like, if you told me a quarterback is making his first ever start and he is a road favorite in a hostile division environment, that to me is just a massive, massive red flag. I get everyone hypes up the Vikings roster and Kevin O'Connell, but I think Ben Johnson is will end up being a pretty good head coach as well. And I look at their roster, I feel pretty confident with what I'm seeing out of the Bears. And people were, he's yelling and screaming. That the Bears needed that kind of wake up call. There was a lot of talent on that Bears roster last year. There's even more talent this year. I think they did a pretty decent job, the Bears, hopefully fixing their offensive line in the offseason. You'll see Caleb Williams under center more. I think you'll see, them looking to pound the rock a little bit more. Basically, I think Ben Johnson will be able to limit some of the mistakes that Caleb Williams, him running around, turning his back on the defense, just eliminate some of those. But really, for me, it's just a fade of JJ McCarthy. You're going on the road in a hostile division game, and you're a road favorite. That just makes no sense to me. I think the market is off here. And I think just the Vikings are getting way too much hype. So, yeah, give me the Bears as a home dog Monday Night Football division game.
I'll do it with you. I mean, I'll put it up. I haven't looked all the way through it, but I agree. And I feel like, and this is kind of just talking about, referring to my Twitter news feed, I feel like this whole summer, everything surrounding JJ McCarthy has been weird. It's been like weirdly polarizing, and it's like people like overhyping the shit out of him. And I don't want to overreact to what you see at Michigan, and he had a specific role in that offense, and I don't want to just say like, oh, that's all he can do because that's all he was asked to do at Michigan. But I don't know what we've seen from JJ McCarthy for him to be laying points on the road. Yeah, let's go. I'll do it.
Yeah, he might end up being really good. He might end up being a great prospect, but he's still a rookie in a hostile environment. You Bears fans are going to be going nuts here. This is when the Bears fans are the craziest, when they have hope week 1 and they've been sitting in the tailgate drinking all day. This is peak Bears fans. So this is their time to shine. I guess I'd be, if a rookie quarterback goes on the road and carves me up in their first spot and that's how I lose, so be it. But I think he's going to, even just briefly watching some of the preseason stuff, he has a good arm, but he was also putting it in harm's way. And I think that could be huge. And you go back to Justin Jefferson dealing with a hamstring for the majority of the offseason training camp. He didn't get a lot of good practice or preseason reps with JJ McCarthy. They're missing Jordan Addison. They felt the need. I always like to let the teams tell me what they think of themselves. The Vikings thought they had to bring back Adam Thielen. That to me is a sign that they didn't feel great at what they were trotting out there week 1. Does he have great chemistry with Adam Thielen right now going into this first week? They haven't, they've not seen any live action together. He didn't even play that much in the preseason. So I guess I'm just skeptical he's going to hit the ground running. We see rookies all the time. They end up being good towards the end of the season, but early on, it's just tough to get going.
I'll do it. Bears, I like it.
Let's go, Bears, baby.
I was looking for a reason to get to the Bears anyway.
Yeah.
I like that. Early September, this is Bears fans' time. This is
yeah. Now, will it end great? I don't know, but starting off Monday night.
We've seen the end of the movie. It doesn't end great.
Yeah, and maybe they need the 1.5. Maybe it's a heartbreaking field goal law. They lose 24-23, something like that. But I think they're probably live on the money line as well. But I'll just take the 1.5.
I'll be taking the plus 1.5 as well. All right, Sean Green. So what is the schedule over there at SGP? Like, what time are you guys live? What days of the week?
Yeah, so for we go live basically Sunday through Thursday night. Thursday is like earlier. So basically Sunday night, we recap everything that happened. We give you our Monday night props. Monday night, after Monday Night Football, we do our college show. After Monday night, we do Thursday night props for the upcoming Thursday game. Tuesday, we do our college football episode, 8:30 Pacific. Wednesday, we do our NFL picks, 8:30 Pacific. And then Thursday afternoon, usually around like 2 o'clock, we'll do our NFL props. And then we do a pregame show on Sunday at like 9 a.m. Pacific. So, streaming, 5-6 times a week there. Get it, youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast, Spotify, wherever you listen to the audio stuff. And yeah, man, can't wait. We're also doing a free contest. We call it the Free Roll Football Contest. You pick every NFL game against the spread. We give out $3,000. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/free roll, all one word, free roll. So if people want to enter that, it's a super fun contest we've been running for the listeners for years. So yeah, looking forward to the upcoming football season. Looking forward to hopping on here after Thursday Night Football, and appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, for sure. And I for your sake, I really hope the Eagles just don't. It would be hilarious if the Eagles drop this game. I'll laugh for an hour.
It's one of those as a fan, you hate these situations where, like, if you win, everyone goes, "Oh yeah, well you're supposed to win. You're huge favorites. They sucked at it." But like, you can only disappoint, right? Because if you win, you feel like you didn't. It's like, oh, you were expected to win, and then it is the NFL. But obviously, I like our chances tomorrow night as well.
I took a +7 early in the summer pre Micah Parsons, but we'll see. The Cowboys can't beat the Eagles, but the Eagles can definitely beat themselves. We'll see.
knock on wood that they don't do that. But yeah, I think for that game, I think the Eagles will be able to run the ball. They'll be able to stop the run, and that puts you in a good spot right there.
All right, let's go. Let's go Cowboys. Sean Green, thanks for joining me.
Go Birds. Thanks for having me.
All right, it is Wednesday. That means Kyle Hunter is here. We're in week 2. We got 6 games on the board. Kyle, I haven't talked to you since the weekend other than a couple of DMs. I personally did not have a great Saturday. Week 1 started off all right, but then when we got to Saturday, I had a bad one. Did you have a good weekend?
I did not. Did well week 0. Week 1 was not good to me. I will say weeks 2 through like 5 or 6, I really enjoy betting college football because there can be some overreactions. We only have 1 or 2 or 3 data points. Some people really like to jump on certain teams that I think can get overvalued, or a really good team plays a really bad game once, but everybody has a bad game. So I like to look for those overreactions in the market. And I think it's going to be fun to look at some of these this week and then the next few weeks.
Yeah, I Sunday when they were opening up all the lines, I jumped on a few early ones, got some really good numbers, and I was sitting there like, man, why didn't I just take it easy week 1? Like, because I like my bets for week 2. I like a lot of them, and it was like, man, I should have just chilled and relaxed for week 1 and watch some football, put some data points down. But it is what it is. Certainly a lot of fun to be watching college football again. So we got 6 games on the board, and the first one up, Illinois Duke, and I feel very similarly to you on this one. You were talking about the defensive line. I heard it. Let's hear the rundown. What are you on here?
Yeah, I mean, I think Illinois is a team that's clearly a good team, but I think Illinois is overvalued by some people. This is a good team. Altmaier's a good quarterback, but he had a lot of turnover-worthy plays last year that he got fortunate to have, success and not have those turnovers. I think that in a Duke, you have a better quarterback than you had last year. Mensah, a better quarterback than last year. And I don't know that Mensah is really that much worse than Altmaier. So, I think that overall, Manny Diaz, a tremendous defensive mind. And I think some people overlook that at times. I think he's going to have a good game plan here. He knows Illinois has a good offensive line. They want to run the football. I think Duke's interior defensive line with Hall, the defensive ends they have rushing the passer, they are underrated. I think that Duke kind of sleptwalked through that first game against Elon. Why show a lot? This is the game that really mattered to them. So I wouldn't make too much of them not playing well in that one. I do think that Illinois, very weak at wide receiver. That's their big weakness. Bryant and Franklin both gone. To me, it's going to be tough for Illinois to score too many points here. This is a slow-paced game. Neither team going to rush all that much as far as tempo-wise. I definitely lean Duke here, but I decided I want to isolate the Illinois team total under. I do like Duke money line as a small bet too. You could put some pizza money on it or the +3, but I really trust Diaz and the defense to make life difficult for Illinois offense. So I'm going to go with the team total under 26.5 here for the Fighting lineup.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. And like I said, we're in agreement for pretty much everything you said. I'm in agreement with, except I don't think Illinois is necessarily overhyped. I like Illinois. I just hate this matchup. On the road in Wallace Wade Stadium, you mentioned it. The one of the strengths of this Illinois team is going to be the offensive line. In fact, that's probably the strength of the team. I think Bielema was going to have some success just bullying his opponent's front sevens this year. I don't think that's happening on the road in Duke. Their defensive line is very strong, like you said. I really seriously doubt Illinois is about to go in there and just drive Duke's defensive line off the line of scrimmage. I can't see that happening. And if you take that aspect away from Illinois, all of a sudden the playing field gets evened. I think Illinois may struggle to move the football in this game. I agree with everything you said about Duke's defense. I will say, if you are on Illinois, something that's in your favor, Wallace Wade Stadium, this place should be rocking, harsh environment. Altmaier is no stranger to harsh environments. This dude's played at Oregon, Kinnick, like Columbus. Like, he's been everywhere. I mean, he's played in no shortage of harsh environments. So you do have a quarterback. It's not going to be like CJ Carr in Miami. It's like this guy has been in plenty of harsh environments. So if you're on Illinois, you'll like that. But I do think Illinois is going to struggle to move the football in this game. The only spot where I wouldn't say I disagree, because you didn't really even you isolated Illinois' team total under. I am not sold on Duke's offense moving the ball either. I am not really a Mensa guy. I don't even know, as a pure passer, how much of an upgrade he is from even Malik Murphy. He gives you more in terms of mobility and a higher ceiling, and he obviously he's got a high ceiling and a lot of potential, but Duke was a bottom 25 rushing attack last year. The strength of this Illinois defense is the secondary. The top 6 pieces of that secondary is back. All the linebackers are back. It's going to be tough to throw the ball in Illinois. Where they took hits on the defense is the defensive line. And I mean, look, Duke's offensive line is better. Maybe they're going to have a better rushing attack this year. but I'm not trusting Duke to just run the ball on Illinois. So it would only be Duke, but I'm going to put up under as my pick. But at a full +3, it would only be Duke in terms of, it's down to 49 now. Oh, it was 50.5 when we were talking about this yesterday. Oh, wow. All right. So it looks like they took some under money. But yeah, this is not a game I have a lot of bets open. This isn't one of them. Be under or pass.
Yeah, I would agree with under 49, definitely a key number. And I'd want to get that hook there to get above 49 if you could. I do share your sentiments that I'm not sure if Duke can run the football well. I think Mensa's pretty good. And, I would tend to think this is a lower scoring game in general. So the line move being that makes sense to me. With the under coming down, I'd be curious to see what happens with the side, see if there's any kind of correlation as a line move. Real quick.
I don't understand, and we don't have to get into it. I'm looking for like a 2-sentence answer. You don't have to give like a full-on analysis here. I never really understood the hype with Mensa. He was on a Tulane team that had a superstar running back, an elite AAC defense. I mean, some of their wins, they put up 40 points, and he dropped back to pass 13 times. I don't understand what made Mensa so much, like, why was he such a highly touted transfer rather than Gio Lopez, for example. I know the timing on that. Gio Lopez looked bad in the opener, but I don't know why Mensa was put on such a pedestal where it's like, yeah, I don't understand why he was so highly touted. I'm not that big on Mensa personally.
Mensa did a good job making good decisions, especially for a young guy. I agree with you. He was put in a good position, and he's going to be tested throughout the course of the season. Murphy didn't really play great for Duke. I think they kind of won because of the rest of the team more than Murphy. So although I kind of agree with what you're saying that Mensa is not like this superstar, I do think Mensa is an upgrade from what Murphy was.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I just don't necessarily know how much of an upgrade. And Murphy looks great, like throwing the football. He throws like that perfect spiral. And when you watch him drop back and plant and throw, you're like, oh, this guy's got it. And then you watch a full game and you're like, oh, maybe he doesn't have it.
Yep.
Interesting choice here, but I might be down to bet this. So for those of you that don't know, I let the guests choose which games they want to talk about, games they find interesting, not necessarily like favorite picks or anything, but games they think have interesting talking points. Kyle picked this one. So where are you taking us here? I'm interested to hear what you have to say about this one.
Well, listen, I didn't pick this game because I think this is like a great game or anything. You know that. I mean, this is not like one that I want to put on the main TV. Middle Tennessee, I mean, what a pathetic performance from them the other day. Austin Peay just runs them out of their own building. I mean, that was horrible performance. Middle Tennessee State had 37 passes for 109 yards. I mean, it's freaking Austin Peay. I mean, for heaven's sake. So why can we not move the ball against Austin Peay? I view Wisconsin as an under team too. I mean, we saw Wisconsin's first game. Miami of Ohio, I don't think Miami of Ohio is good, but DeQuan Finn's a quality quarterback. They were 0 for 9 on third down, 2.9 yards per play in that game. We had MTSU just get 2.6 yards per play against Austin Peay. Do we really think that Middle Tennessee is going to score hardly at all here? I don't think so. I mean, I think they're not going to do much scoring at all. On the other side, what will Wisconsin do tempo-wise with the lead? They kind of already showed us. 30.2 seconds between plays with the lead there against Miami of Ohio. I think this will be a slow-paced game. Wisconsin, they're fine. They're a good defense. Don't love the quarterback situation there for Wisconsin. They can probably run the ball in a game like this. But a nice bonus for this one, too, is 12 miles per hour expected winds, gusts of 17 or 18 miles per hour. You get that kind of wind, and you already kind of like an under. It's going to make me take an under. So 45 and a half's out there, too. Definitely would want to get the 45 and a half. So shop around for the best number. This one's come down already, Sauce, and I think this one will probably keep going down because, the later in the week, people pay attention to that weather a little bit more, and I think that will matter as long as the forecast stays the same. I think Middle Tennessee scores very few points in this game, and Wisconsin just kind of sits on it.
Unfortunately, you're right. It seems to be coming down, and most sportsbooks still have the 45 and a half. These graphics come from Circa. That seems the only spot that has moved it down to 45. I kind of disagree. I wanted to go over, and I know it sounds freaking crazy. How I haven't bet this, and you're right. It seems to be coming down. So if I was to bet this, I probably should wait. I know what we saw last week was pathetic from Middle Tennessee. I mean, I think they had, I just had it up, what a 28% success rate against Austin Peay at home. It was terrible. It was laid an egg, doesn't even describe what it was. It was embarrassing. This is still an offense that was supposed to be good this year. I mean, they bring back their multi-year starter at quarterback in Vadiato, 4 starters on the offensive line, 3 of their top 4 receivers. They're kind of an all or nothing offense there where it can look really, really bad at times, and then out of nowhere, they start throwing the ball and connecting. And I kind of think this is crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if Middle Tennessee takes the opening kick, drives right down the field, and it's 7-0, and everyone's like, what the hell? I think Vadiato can throw the ball. He definitely can. It was a rough year last year. He's been the starter there for multiple years now. He's got like 9,000 career passing yards. I think Middle Tennessee is going to get the ball in the end zone on Wisconsin a couple times. And on the other side, Wisconsin's probably going to be moving at a slow pace. And Fickle has basically come out and said a couple of times in the offseason that they're trying to get back to the old identity of Wisconsin, run the football, which definitely points towards an under. And yeah, there's a chance Wisconsin could put together some 7-8 minute drives that absolutely kill an over. But I think Middle Tennessee is going to get the ball in the end zone a couple times, and I think Wisconsin could score at ease. So I was actually leaning the other way of the over here, but I didn't bet it.
This one might go down more, so I could see, you getting an over 44, me having under 45.5. So maybe there's a way that both of us could win. I don't know. I don't have as much faith in Middle Tennessee State's offense as you do.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I shouldn't. A couple of years ago, Vadiato was throwing the ball over the field, and then I don't know, did he just like forget how to do that? I'm not a big Derek Mason guy either. So.
Yeah, same.
No. All right, next up, good pick here. I haven't talked about this game yet either. Very, very low-key, cool game. This is going to be a fun one to watch, a revenge game. For those of you that don't remember, these two teams went to overtime. Vanderbilt got up to a 17-0 lead. Virginia Tech came all the way back. They ended up going to overtime in the opener last year. It was one of the most fun games to watch of the 2024 season, certainly in that week 1. Do the Hokies get their revenge here?
Man, I really wanted to talk about this game because I think it's really, really good game to think about because of what happened last year. Virginia Tech not showing that well last week as far as getting it covered. We talked about Virginia Tech last week, and I think Virginia Tech should have covered. I mean, drones just imploded as soon as they got to South Carolina's side, and the punt return touchdown really was the difference because that was a close game for the majority of the game. You get 10-8, and then all at once you're not covering after a couple big plays. But Virginia Tech failing to cover in that one. They did outgain South Carolina by 8 yards there. Look, I always want to bet Diego Pavia as a dog. I mean, there's a rule here, like Diego Pavia as a dog, you better bet it. Like, because against the spread, he's been very good in this situation. 7-2 against the spread at Vandy as an underdog, 9-4 against the spread as an underdog at New Mexico State. So this is a guy that's been proven in the underdog role. Now, we get 1.5 points here, Kyle. So this is not exactly some, large underdog role. I figured Vandy was going to get more points than this, but the fact that Virginia Tech didn't look great, didn't cover the spread, I think did change perceptions a little bit. I want to ask you a question before I continue going here. All right, who would you rather have as your college quarterback, Sauce? Would it be Drones or Pavia?
Probably Pavia.
I think it's a fair question. I would probably pick Pavia too. Drones has the bigger upside, some would probably say, for future professional play. But Pavia is just a great leader, and the way he can keep his team battling, I think I would go with him as well. But in this game, slow pace from both teams. I'm going to lean to the under here. I think that Vanderbilt's offensive line is really going to get a test here. They have 7 transfers in. Clark Lee thought this was his best offensive line yet, which, they haven't had great offensive lines, so, not a really high bar to clear, but they have to be better. Pavia is a fantastic leader. Vanderbilt's weakness on defense is a secondary. Can Virginia Tech take advantage of that? Drones better look better than he did last week. That's for sure. I want to bet Vandy here, but 1.5 points is not really enough. And as you said, Vandy was a 13.5 point home underdog when they pulled the upset of Virginia Tech last year. Virginia Tech has to be up for this game. if you can't get up for this game, you got major problems going forward. I'm going to lean with the under. I'll be clear, I probably won't bet this game, but I thought it would be really interesting to talk about this game, and I'm curious your input here.
So when I first looked at this game, I originally was leaning over, but the more I look at it, the more I want to be on the Hokies. And this is another one where I'm close to pulling the trigger on here. Virginia Tech at a short money line or -1.5. It's disgusting because on one side you have a guy that just always seems to get it done for you when you bet it. When you bet on Pavia, he always seems to get the job done. Versus a guy in drones who always seems to let you down in terms of how it feels when you bet these guys. I think we're going to see an entirely different version of Kyron Drones in this game. He was pressured on over 44% of his dropbacks last week. And as much as I would love to sit here, blame the offensive line, that wouldn't, unfortunately, I watched the game, and that's not exactly what happened. But he was under a lot of pressure. Dylan Stewart, man, what a player there on South Carolina. He was in Drones' face. It felt like every single time he dropped back. But Drones was under a lot of pressure. And he just seemed rattled because he had like I have it here somewhere. He had like a 60 QB rating from a clean pocket in the game. So he just was off all around. Maybe the pressure caused some of it, the environment. This is an entirely different environment. Now he's back home against Vanderbilt's defense. Vanderbilt does bring back a ton of their defensive production. It's still not a great defense. This is just an entirely different environment for Drones, and just having clean pockets and coming out, he's going to have more confidence throughout the whole game here. I think Drones is going to look way different. So I actually expect Virginia Tech to move the ball pretty fluently in this game. They didn't have problems moving the ball against basically this exact same Vanderbilt defense last year. It's like 8 of the same starters. They averaged 6.2 yards per play. They scored 27 points in the game. They went down 17-0 and then almost scored on every single drive after that. So I think Virginia Tech's going to move the ball pretty fluently on Vanderbilt. The question comes on the other side. And so up to this point, I was like, I can't get there on the side. I don't really know. I can't fade Pavia. But then I was looking at Pavia's stuff. I was looking at game logs from last year. When did we see Pavia look electric? The Alabama game, right? That was awesome. That was at home. The Texas game came down to the wire. That was at home. Most of the Pavia moments were at home, right? The Virginia Tech upset, that was at home. Yeah, so actually isolated to just the Vanderbilt road games. Not that Pavia played bad in all of them, but a loss to Georgia State, loss to Missouri. The Auburn game they won. I mean, they scored 17 points. They had 220 yards offense in the game. They weren't doing anything. They got routed. Oh, no, I'm sorry. South Carolina game was home also. But basically, more of Vanderbilt's electric moments came at home last year, and they weren't that good on the road. So this isn't just on the road. This is a very harsh environment with a team that wants revenge from last year. The more I look at this game, the closer I am to pulling the trigger on the Hokies. When it comes down, the problem is when it comes down to it, like you said, the question you asked me, who do I trust with the ball in the final 2 minutes? If this is a 28-27 game, the answer is Pavia. Like I trust that guy to go get it done, but I'm thinking the surrounding cast in Blacksburg, that place is going to be like a crime scene. I think Virginia Tech might dominate this game. So the more I look at it, the closer I am to pulling the trigger on this at Virginia Tech.
Understandable. A fun game for sure.
Yeah, this will be a cool one. This will be a fun one to watch. Arizona State, Mississippi State. I'm on the Bulldogs. Got a +7. Let's do it. Are you with me?
I hate that it's gone down to 6.5, to be honest here. I definitely lean Mississippi State. That's what I would want to bet here. The other thing I kind of like is the over. I think that Mississippi State can score points in this game. Maybe a Mississippi State team total over as well. Put me down for the game over, but I also like Mississippi State. This is a Mississippi State team that I think is a good amount better than last year. If you look at the 24/7 team talent composite, Mississippi State's 24th and Arizona State is 33rd. So they think that they have a more talented roster overall. If you're getting a more talented roster, now I will say I don't want to bet just solely on that. I'm never going to bet something solely on that, but that's one part of the handicap, one tool in the toolbox. You give me 6.5, 7 points with the home dog in Stark Vegas. I mean, it makes a lot of sense here to take Mississippi State. I think Mississippi State's running backs, Bothwell and Booth, very good. I mean, Bothwell did a really good job last year. Him coming in, really helps them a lot. I will say the one thing that gives me a bit of pause here is that Dillingham's a really good coach. He does a great job getting his team ready for games, and he was very unhappy with the way they played last week against Northern Arizona. And you can see some of the clips from after the game when they're trying to celebrate and have the interviews on the field. He was very irritated with how they played last week. So I think he knows that the team has to be a lot better. One thing that works in the advantage of Mississippi State, this is kind of a revenge game. Remember last year they lost by 7 to Arizona State. They had a chance later in the game. They really made a good run. And Mississippi State, I think, is a good amount better than they were last year. And Arizona State, for everything that I like about them, they did lose quite a bit from last year. I think they are down from what they were last year. So while I like Leavitt, I like Dillingham, I like either the over here or Mississippi State. And this is a game where Sauce, it wouldn't shock me if Mississippi State wins this game. So if you like Mississippi State, I think part of your bet should be on the money line.
Agree fully. And I'm glad you brought up last year's game because that's where I want to start. Last year's game, it's in Tempe. Mississippi State is laying 7 on the road in Arizona State. Laying 7. That game was close. Mississippi State gifted them 14 points early. They fumbled in their own zone, and so they gifted them points early. Arizona had an early lead. Mississippi State in the second half just was going up and down the field on Arizona State. Came all the way back. Arizona State gets the win. So that's our data point number 1. Mississippi State's on the road in Arizona State, laying a touchdown on the road. Now we're in Starkville. We're catching a touchdown. What in the last year? You know how much of a shift that is to go -7 on the road to +7 at home? It's like a 19, 20-point shift there. You mean to tell me that the gap between these two teams is 3 touchdowns different than it was a year ago? Based on what? Based on Arizona State's Cinderella run, where, let's be honest, they could have been 7-5 last year. They were awesome, way better than expected, and they were one of the most fun. I mean, Arizona State covering against Texas was probably the peak of my college football season. I loved every second of that comeback. So nothing against Arizona State, but the coin could have flipped the other way at the end of a few of those games, and I don't understand what we've seen here to flip this line. 3 touchdowns. I think Mississippi State's going to win the game. Place is going to be going crazy. There's a revenge factor, like you said. Am I sold on Mississippi State's defense stopping Sam Leavitt? No. I'm sure Arizona State's going to be able to move the ball in this game. I almost have no doubt about it. I don't know where the stops come from because this Mississippi State offense might be dangerous. Blake Shapen's healthy. Remember, he only played in 4 games last year. He can play. He comes from Baylor. He can play, Blake Shapen. They've got 2 weapons in the backfield in Booth and Bothwell, like you said. Yeah, this Arizona State defense, they bring back a lot of production. It's still not, this isn't like an elite defense or anything. I think Mississippi State's going to score. I think they're going to score early and often in this game. I agree with the over. I like Mississippi State better. And another thing, I don't really care too much about the Arizona State, Northern Arizona. It was an opening FCS game. They came out looking flat. Whatever. I don't really care too much about that. But I do think week 1 for Mississippi State is a valuable data point. That wasn't a layup on the road in Southern Miss against Charles Huff, and they were fired up. That place was loud, and Blake Shapen held it together. They were going up and down the field. They ended up winning comfortably. That was an impressive opener for Mississippi State. So they're coming in with momentum. I think they could win. So yeah, I'm on Mississippi State +7.
Yeah, plus 200, plus 205 money lines out there. Definitely worth a stab there. And listen, those cowbells are going to be pretty loud here.
Yeah. The place is going to be a crime scene. All right, let's go on to the next one. Louisiana Tech, LSU. Let's hear it. What do you have to say about Louisiana Tech, LSU? I got some notes, so I'm ready. But I'm very curious where you're going with this one.
Well, listen, I'll try not to waste too much of the listeners' time on this one. I know nobody's going to be too excited about this, but I think it's kind of a good point to bring up about, handicapping and situational spots. Could there be a more of a sandwich spot than this for LSU? I mean, LSU coming off a great performance last week. I'll be honest, I was completely wrong about that. I thought Cade Klubnik and Clemson would be able to score on LSU. The LSU's defense much better. I mean, I know Baker's a really good DC, and LSU dominated that game in the second half. Now, in this game, LSU is playing La Tech. La Tech playing against bigger brother, the big school in the state. This game obviously means something to Louisiana Tech. LSU plays Florida next week. So this is the game that would be super easy to overlook. And if LSU gets ahead, I would think they'd get super conservative, not show much. Louisiana Tech here, fully motivated. I don't think LSU is fully motivated. And La Tech, the strength of their team is the secondary. And, that's what you want to have the strength when you're going against Garrett Nussmeier. Nussmeier's great. I think LSU can grind away a win. I certainly not trying to say anything about La Tech being live. I mean, nothing ridiculous here. But 37 points is a lot of points. I mean, you could get a 42-10 game and you're covering the 37 with relative ease. So I'm going to take Louisiana Tech, a team that I think is at least decent on defense. And I think that we'll get an unmotivated LSU effort here. LSU could clearly beat them by more than 37 if they really wanted to. I just question whether they really care to do that here.
Yeah, I mean, 37 is a lot of points. And I got to say, when it comes to Louisiana Tech, I don't even know. And I thought for sure Sonny Cumbie was done midseason last year. Like, I thought for sure that was it. The defense came out and was lights out last season. It was like one of the best defenses in Conference USA. Where the hell did that come from? So my take on it was Jeremiah Johnson saved Sonny Cumbie's job. That's what I was saying last year. Jeremiah Johnson was the new DC, and he came in, and Louisiana Tech's defense took like a huge step forward. They had a good season. Sonny Cumbie remains the head coach. Well, Jeremiah Johnson left. I think he went to Coastal. So I'm like, oh, this is where now we see them come back, and Sonny Cumbie loses his job this year. They come out and pitch a shutout in the first game against their rivals, Southeast Louisiana. 3.6 yards per play. They allowed 0 points in the game. Losing the DC and losing most of the front seven. I think I just need to take a step back and say, like, apologize to Sonny Cumbie. Like, I didn't know you had it like that. This Louisiana Tech team, I will say, I won't be betting this game. It would be under or pass, because I agree with what you said with LSU. This game sandwiched between the two big ones. What motivation do they have to just run up the score? I agree with what you're saying on that. I will say, if Louisiana Tech has a top 3 or 4 defense in Conference USA again, after going with their third DC in 3 years and losing most of the defensive front seven, I will officially be like, Sonny Cumbie, I apologize. Like, I'm sorry for all the shit I said. He did. It's impressive. So yeah, it would be under or pass for me. Last game on the board. Yeah, I got +3, so it's down to +1.5. I think they should be laying 2.5, honestly. So I'm on San Diego State. Are you with me?
Yeah, I think this is my favorite one of the ones that we talk about here today, Kyle. I really like San Diego State in this spot. I think San Diego State's going in the right direction, and Washington State going completely the other direction. Let's not overlook the fact that Washington State was really fortunate to beat Idaho last week. And Idaho lost like everything from their team last year that has been good. Idaho was running on them. They were stuffing the run. Washington State could not run the football against them. I know there's question marks about who is and who should be the quarterback for Washington State. Washington State won games last year because of their offense. They don't have that same kind of offense this year. They allowed 5.2 yards per carry last year. On paper, this defensive line is worse than last year's. Low-end talent at linebacker, I think. San Diego State last year only lost by 3 to Washington State, and they were actually outgained them. The Aztecs are way better than they were last year. I don't think it's even close. And some of these people who wrote off Sean Lewis, I think Sean Lewis is still a good offensive mind. He had bad quarterbacks last year, and I think Denegal is definitely a step up from what he had. They have 2 quarterbacks now that are better than anybody that they had last year, at least. And to me, they have the better quarterbacks in this game. They definitely have the better defense. The secondary for San Diego State is very good. They return a lot. They were definitely improving late last year defensively. I want to fade Washington State, and I want to back San Diego State. And I wish the price was better than this. In the game last week, I was kind of rooting for Washington State to look better because I wanted a bigger number here on San Diego State. Now, the fact that they looked so bad depressed this line, but like you said, I think they're going to win the game. So I'll take the +1.5, take the money line, whatever you want to take. I think San Diego State wins. The other thing is Washington State wants to run the football and play these low-scoring games, but against Idaho last week, 47.7 PFF grade for the offensive line, which is terrible. I mean, it's bottom 5 in the country. And now you go up against the San Diego State defense that's definitely better than Idaho. I think San Diego State wins this game, Kyle, so I have to be on the Aztecs here.
Couldn't agree more. I grabbed this one as soon as it opened, and I agree with every single thing you just said. It's like Sean Lewis, everyone forgot about this guy. I don't think he got we don't have to get into it, but I don't think he got the most fair shake at Colorado there, and then people forgot. He had Kent State going like 5-3. Like, what? He had Kent State scoring points and winning games. It wasn't that long ago. It's like 4 years ago. He was winning games at Kent State. He had one bad year at San Diego State where, like you said, it was his first year with the program. He didn't even have a quarterback. He's got a quarterback now. He's got 2 of them, like you said. He's got wide receivers. They have 3 or 4 wide receivers that can make plays too. I think San Diego State, with Boise State laying the egg there in the opener at South Florida, there's a lot of talk about, who can win the Mountain West now? It's wide open. And I'm hearing all these names throwing around. Why is nobody talking about San Diego State as a dark horse to win this conference? I think they're very good. Like you said, they bring back almost everybody on the defense, 9 or 10 starters. They're all back. And granted, playing defense with a Sean Lewis coached offense is not always the easiest gig. It's a fast-paced offense. Sometimes there's a quick 3 and out, and you're right back on the field. It comes with the territory of playing defense on a Sean Lewis team. But I think this team is very strong. San Diego State minus 15.5 was one of my favorite bets all week last week against Stony Brook. I placed that like a month before. Like, I was way before the season started. I knew I was betting San Diego State before this line even opened. Like I said, I got a +3. Washington State didn't look good at all against an Idaho team that lost everybody, like you said. Yeah, I honestly, if you were asking me to set the number, I think I would make this San Diego State minus 2.5, maybe even a soft 3. Like, I think they're a significantly better than Washington State personally. So, yeah, I agree.
I think so as well. I mean, we're on the same page on this one, so hopefully it works out here Saturday night at 10:15. This will be a good one to watch. I think we'll have fun with this one because I like our chances here.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Kyle Hunter. Where can they? I'm sure everyone watching already knows, but in case they've never seen you before, where can they find you?
You can find me several spots. HunterSportsPicks.com is my website. There's a free picks newsletter over there as well. I do the Bet US College Football Show, which is a lot of fun. Josh, Step on a Duck, is on there as well, and Scott Seidenberg. We do the Friday night spaces if you want to jump on there on X, Twitter. So you can follow me there at Kyle Hunter Picks, and best of luck to everybody this week.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there Friday night for sure. He does a Twitter spaces, and they go through a lot of games. He brings on guests, and it's perfect for me because I'm doing notes on Friday night, so I can't watch something, but audio, it's perfect. So, yeah, that's his Twitter handle right on the screen. Kyle, thanks for joining. Hopefully next time I see your face, we'll have more money in our accounts from the weekend.
Hey, that's the hope. Thank you.
Have a good one. All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching. See you all tomorrow. Oh, real quick. My bad. I should have had this ready. 1 second. 1 second. So if you want to see, I did a breakdown for the Eagles-Cowboys. It's right here. I put it in the comments. That's for the Thursday Night Football game. I'll also put it in the comments of this video after the stream's over. Thanks, everyone, for watching. See you all tomorrow.